Hey, good evening. How's everybody doing? Just trying to make sure everything was set up and good here. Let me go ahead and just. All right, I just had to make sure to get the disclaimer up and out. So I hope everybody's doing well. As you can hear, I'm doing about the same. Not really. I don't know. I'm not really getting all that much better. I guess it's better, and I don't know. Just laid down for a bit and woke up probably. I can't really say woke up. I mean, I did nod off, but not like sleep, I guess you could say. So, yeah. So, let's see. I did take a look at price action today. Before this actually changes over, just go ahead and show you. We actually finished off this 150K account. So 159 to 59 is what we ended up with. Took a couple of positions. Two of these were overnight. The one position that yesterday, and I have a video. I still have to go back and upload that video. I had briefly shown that I did record 427. Hang on. Tuesday. Oh, okay. Yeah, it still showed. It showed the daily. Okay, so yeah, so yesterday we ended up a negative P&L, 251.20, after making 427.20. There's a deeper and a bigger context to that, being down. So Monday, Tuesday, kind of gave back about 1,000 plus, and I'll let the video kind of speak for itself. But the long and the short of it essentially was that it was probably about a good 65 plus handles in profit. Waited for price to come into a specific area to target. Price came in, met that target, and it's one of those cases where, when you have a plan, you're following the plan, the bias plays out as you anticipate. It's kind of like one of those situations where I should have just left well enough alone, but I was a little too aggressive in trying to mitigate any kind of loss and stop. Got out of a position, price came back down. I thought that was basically going to give me a better entry, and in essence it didn't. It ran against me basically 3 times. One, two, I think it ran. Well, no, I think it ran against me like 2 more times. And like I said, I'll put the video out. The video was like 2 hours, so I'm kind of giving you the nuts and bolts without you having to go back and watch the whole thing. But yeah, long and the short, possibly could have finished off our combine yesterday, but kind of back in a little bit of the grind aspect of it right now, which again, all good. This was like basically my TP. I had it listed there as a breaker TP target. We did hit that target on the way up, and it just took a while, but as with any and everything, stuff happens. So you might be asking, what am I looking for today? Well, something similar. just in the opposing direction. We're kind of going to be looking for price to retrace back into this area. So essentially, I'm looking for something either right at this horizontal ray in this area of fair value. And then we're gonna be, I'm looking for shorts just back to fair value here. Unless price just runs away and, you know, if it runs, then we're kind of just out. We're gonna be out. Long and the short, we'll be out. And by out, what I mean is there's not going to be a position to take, because today is going to be, I'm not going to say, I don't want to make it sound like it's just like so cut and dried, simple, but technically, like, I'm only really looking for one specific thing. And at this point, it's going to look something like a positional trade, excuse me, back in here. And I'm looking essentially just for simple short back into this area of fair value. And if you're wondering why I'm looking for a short just back into here, we could actually target lower, but because this is what was designated as the initial buy side liquidity for this morning, that we actually ran up and ran away from. So we had a high, a low, there's your higher high. But like I said, I'm just looking to see if we get a reaction in here. We basically have like all the substance technically for a move short if this is what price wants to do. So another day, at least this time it's a live session, so see how it plays out. Sorry. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got a Fed rate decision, and then the meeting at 2, I believe it's either 2, what is it, 2:30, I think, tomorrow. So we shall see. So again, those that are just joining, idea is wait to see if we get price that's going to reach back in to this area. I don't anticipate this high being taken, but who the hell am I? I don't know. I'm just simply saying I'm not anticipating it. I don't really see price getting above here. I really don't. And then essentially a move back short, and that's essentially all I'm targeting. That would be it. Now, can it go further just based on if I'm looking at the initial balance from today, yeah, it can, but I'm not looking at that. The other thing that is relevant to point out is we're basically setting up to have a structural shift, but that is going to take place at this level. It would take place here. So you've got your break above, the sweep out of the initial balance buy side liquidity. I'm not arguing this high, low, higher, high. Obviously, there was a higher imbalance or liquidity that was sought higher. So I'm just treating it as a high, low. This is a higher high. So theoretically, before looking for a short, we should be looking for this level to be broken. But again, as my makeup and my MO, because yesterday I was right on it and still managed to kind of hose it. So see if I can I want to go 1 for 2 today. I want to kind of be right on it and just not hose it today. So So we've got about another little less than 2.5 minutes for the 6:05 candle to close. And I guess I can say and share the reason why I'm not looking for really a longer run is because this is the night before some pretty big economic news. So realistically, for all intents and purposes, I mean, kind of sort of just should not do anything with, combine, but I just kind of feel like, you know what? If we're protecting capital at all costs and, the risk is not as significant, maybe a position, if it doesn't work out, we can always jump over to a practice account and see what the delivery could or might be, or if it just does what it sometimes does evenings before. I know I've said this in previous live streams before, like usually those nights before like CPI, PPI, you might get, a run across an entire range. You might get that run a couple of times back and forth before it'll start to kind of accumulate in a very tight range, either coming out of London or sometimes Asia will start the tight range and then, all kinds of shenanigans and foolishness breaks out after like 10 p.m. Eastern until about, I don't know, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning going into London. And then there's silence amongst the land. So all right, so we got about 20 seconds before candle closure here. And for the record, that would be the buy side is the side I want to see taken. Because then it kind of allows, excuse me, it allows us to continue to just kind of build that short narrative and the short bias. Okay, actually, one, I'm gonna leave that because I'm just gonna change this because this is an important candle too, because this is a 4 p.m. candle. Now, I'm not gonna be excuse me. I probably could. I don't know, right? That would be extremely presumptuous to do. But like I said, I probably could, technically, because this is a low. Yeah, we might already be starting the foolishness like right off the gate. If we close inside, that's the 4 p.m. candle. But like I said, I don't want to do that because again, it's taking a position against my bias. I'd much rather just kind of see if that plays, and if it does play out, then great, so be it. Let's do this. Let's do this. See if it lets me take a position. Yeah, it will. Cool. Let's just put a stop there, and let's target right here. Like I said, you know, I don't mind doing this in my PA account. It's not something that you should do because this is kind of, to me, what this is more like is kind of trading against my bias, which, you know, I did for years when I would trade Forex when I was in currency pairs, and I felt like I had figured out the range. And if I was looking at something like fair value, at that point, I didn't really understand liquidity and liquidity levels, like specific areas that price was going to seek. So I didn't understand that. I was looking at maybe like points of interest, a very generic, general area where I was like, yeah, price will probably come here and then reverse. And it worked enough to where I got comfortable taking trades against what my overall trade bias was, and it never really worked out, you know. So needless to say, many days I was creme brulee. I was in a cup and somebody had a flame firing that shit up. Firing me up, actually. So okay, and we'll be into 6:15 here in 10 seconds. So okay. All right, so yeah, it's still just good for the PA. I'm not doing it. I promise you I'm not doing it. But it's looking promising. It looks promising. Let's go back here. On the 15. Yeah. So just in case, just to kind of give you some level of clarity, let me open this up so you can see. I was initially looking at the PM session. So I was and I was just kind of trying to identify an area in price. I came up to the 15-minute. I realized that we had fair value here, and then the fair value was obviously between, well, I won't say it was obvious then, but I just came up to look at structure and I saw this fair value gap here. So I kind of just, I thought to myself, okay, so maybe I'm not going to see it on the 5-minute. It may be, I could possibly frame it off of the 15. So I just made myself this horizontal ray for like basically the consummate encroachment for this area of fair value. So if we get a tap back in, I wouldn't expect price to exceed that. Not saying it cannot, I just wouldn't be looking for it. So that might explain why you see this the way that you see it. So yeah. Just so you kind of understand what it is, because it's not labeled. And then I just, like I said, I didn't want to draw another box. So I just made like this white horizontal as basically the framing the upper portion of that fair value, the consummate encroachment. And then this was the 4 p.m. candle, which made it easy enough. I just left the other horizontal ray up there because I was able to see that. But just so you kind of, as you're watching, you're like, well, what? I don't understand what that is and what are you looking at? It give you an idea there. Okay, so that looks like that's a nice and painless PA position. Yep, nice and painless.
Order filled.
Nice. All right. And if we miss it, we just miss it. But I want to see. That looks good, but I'm not sold on that. It looks really good, actually. Um, and this is the thing. Oh, can you not hear it? I've got some playing. I've just got it turned down. Yeah, if this is just hanging out, and yeah, it can bottom could fall out here, but yeah. Just kind of want to be. Let's trade Globex with some beats. What do you listen to in particular? Like which lo-fi? You use it? You listen to one of the channels, or yeah, like I said, if we miss this and it runs without us, so be it. But I know it has kind of tapped into the area that I was looking for. I need a little more confirmation. Interstellar. All right, let me see if I can find it. Let's see.
Great content needs a great audience, like Santa Claus needs cookies. What? No cookies for Santa? No! With two, buddy, you get everything you need to grow your own.
All right. Okay, so that's Interstellar Radio. That's a new one for me. Reminds me of playing Halo. Excuse me. I used to listen to I think it's called garage I think it's garage music. I think it's garage music. I listened to that for a few months, but I kind of tried, I bounced around listening to like a couple of different things. And then once I found like the Blade Runner radio, like it was over. everything kind of got kicked out of, playlist, and that was it. Watch FSP in the morning and we listen to gospel. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty open when it comes to music. I will admit, like new age, I never really understood it. And the only, if you say new age, the only new age anybody I know is like Yanni, who has to be like, 700 years old now or something. But I could never really get into it. So oh man. All right, so a little over a minute before this candle closes, and then that'll be our 6:30 candle. Never. Still listen to 90s, 2000s rap. Oh, okay. Me too. Me too. So yeah, then you know what real music is. That's why it's hard for me to listen. Well, you have to pick your artist nowadays, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. I still feel like, and I know that every genre of music is going to have like its generation that says its music was the greatest music or the best music. But I guess when it comes to just what you're describing here, like the 90s and the 2000s rap, for rap music, in my humble opinion, yeah, you don't really get better than, I would say, late 80s, early 90s rap, and all the way back to like the infancy of it. Like when you start talking about people like Curtis Blow and excuse me, Houdini and the Furious Five, like back when it wasn't it wasn't violent, you know. There were different, it was just a different time. Totally different time. But They would talk about things that were light and gay. The storytelling was even, well, for the time, the storytelling was good. Okay. So, so potentially, even if this comes down, it's a volume imbalance. Yeah, let's see if we can. I just need more power. I just need a little bit more up here. Yeah. It is, but I just need more convincing. I know, in here. I'm just not sold on it just yet. So that's why I say if I'm wrong, and I might be a little passive tonight versus last night. Last night I was a tad bit aggressive. So that's why I say if I miss it, so be it. But I'll tell you what we can do. Let's see. So while it's rejecting the 15, it's also rejecting here. So that's why I say, like, I'm kind of just, I'm okay with missing it if it goes, but I'm being a little cautious here because I feel like it's going to make another pass, or it will invert this and maybe come back down and reclaim, and then we go down. That's why I said I'm not sold yet. Anybody else in NAS at Globex? Anybody already in the short? Did you get in at the rejection off the 15 or? Yeah. Little inverse. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, my thing is I'm just not trying to get ragdolled tonight. I don't want to get in and then it's good and then I'll probably get in trouble for saying it. I don't give a shit. I don't want to get in and go through like that shaken baby syndrome shit. Like you know, I can't handle it. All right, that's probably it. So good shit, V. Good stuff. Oh, what are you doing? There must have been an update or something. Clean. I never trade off open like that because I've been taught. Yeah, yeah. Well, and there's really no justification. I'm about to like make an excuse, right? Um, I don't know if you were here at the beginning when I took this long back up to 4, but I was just, I start looking at certain things, 6 p.m., even though that's the open candle. Once we had the 605 close here, it had already established itself as the low. And I just needed this candle to confirm you're closing in the body. But yeah, either way, like you said, you're right. Oh, nice. Congrats, J Stores. Good stuff. Good stuff. And that's what it's all about, you know? Take what you can extract and live to speculate another day. That's what it's about. And honestly, if this runs, yeah, I'm just kind of gonna pull a Cartman and say, "Screw these charts, I'm going home." But yeah, not I'm not chasing anything. So J Stores, you're gonna trade in the morning ahead of rates and FOMC. I'm not judging. I'm just asking. Excuse me. So at this point, because we're coming up on 6:45 and oof. do that? I don't really want to do that, but I probably could.
Order filled.
Huh.
Order filled.
I'll take that. Overnight is good hold for short, personally. So short any pot, we got so much downside. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely, 100%. Was that yesterday? Today, Tuesday. My day's running together. Monday. Yeah. I know I heard a couple, just in a couple of the groups or the communities that I'm in, I heard quite a few people was like, well, we don't know what happened and, why the dump? And it was like, just like, I don't know if you guys mark your charts like I mark mine, but that's why I always use the joke, like, my charts usually look like a old John Madden drawing from like a Monday Night Football. Bunch of rays, some annotations, and you're just like, what in the actual fuck? But like a lot of sell side. So yeah. You're going long? Okay. You know what? I'm probably gonna get stopped. I'm going to get stopped. Because Let's see. Yeah, I hope I'm. Excuse me. Coming back into, yeah, based on where even I would say because of where my stop is, but it's not. It has nothing to do with the stop. We'll have to see. Excuse me. We'll just have to see at this point if it's gonna engineer some more liquidity below 6, and then if it doesn't, I'm gonna get stopped out. So Daishan, if you're going long, that might actually be the play. That's just not my bias, but it could work. If we sweep some upside, that gives me more conviction. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But the other thing is, and it just depends on what you look at. If you're into like technicals, I'm looking at where basically the afternoon session ended. We're closer to PM sell side than we are that buy side. For one, two, a lot of the day, even the AM session, is a massive run long. So I don't disagree with you. I think you're 100% correct. And in terms of giving you like more confluence and more confidence to take a short. So I'm definitely on board with you there. I just think that it's, again, I'm thinking about tomorrow, and I'm thinking about the ability to kind of just stall those of us that are in early. Like I'm in early. This isn't like London or coming out of Asia and into like that quiet period of 12 to 1:55 in the morning. This isn't that, where they can, run the market wherever they want. And if you're up, you can get a good run. So short, I was going to take the same trade, but had to be disciplined and wait for the AM, but look short for sure. Yeah, it does. And I think, like I said, entry and execution is obviously gonna bear that out as to whether or not it's going to work. But yeah, I don't know what the events of tomorrow and the rest of the week will hold, but yeah, I'm leaning towards a lot of downside. And real quick, I just want to ask, because I'm curious of everybody that's in here, and if you don't want to comment, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But does anybody do like any kind of long-term forecasting? And it's not so much that you want to be like a position, but just if whatever methods you use, if you use fibs or trend lines or whatever it is, has anybody done like a long-term projection to where in your bias or in your trade plan, it tells you where you think the NASDAQ is going to be at some point in the future? Supply and demand. Okay. Anybody feel comfortable? Monthly time frame. Anybody feel comfortable? You could just drop it in the chat, like where you think the NASDAQ is headed. And if you want to use two targets, you can. If you could say, hey, I think it's going here first, but eventually it'll go here, feel free to do that. But I'm just interested to hear. anybody wants to share that. And then I'm going to tell you guys what I think. And y'all are going to be like, this mother something is out of his mind. He's out of his mind. But I'm just, 19. Okay. Come back to 21, run back to 25. Okay. Thousand-point range, 20,007, 21,680. Okay. Okay. So y'all are gonna be like, yeah, he is like, we hear you coughing and you sound different, so you are definitely sick based on what I'm about to say. And I'm not saying this number like this is the end, but I'm gonna preface this number by saying there was obviously, everybody knows the financial crisis from 2008. We also know that thing that occurred now 5 years ago, not really, but a few years ago, that tanked the economy. And I know as some, like Dashawn has said, he uses supply and demand, and using monthly. So you'll use different levels to verify and validate trade ideas. But I'm looking at those events, and then I look technically. So the number that I was looking at today, and I wasn't pulling the shit out of my ass, like I put some thought into it, went back through, and I just drew price out. I didn't use a replay tool or any of that crap. I just used existing price and went back. And the number I came up with was 10,000. I don't know, because I'm not a financial advisor. I don't work for JP Morgan, and I don't have Jamie Dimon to run these types of things by or anything. But if I'm just looking at the technicals, which is what I was looking at, it's possible that we get all the way down to 10,000 in the NASDAQ, and then potentially buy back up from there. No. I didn't forget a zero. I'm saying we're going down to 10,000. I didn't forget a zero. I know it sounds like I did. I didn't. And I'll say it again. I don't think that we're staying there. I think that's, that might be a longer term thing. I do believe that we come back up. And I know that there's some estimates for people that were looking long term at like what the high for NASDAQ would be for this year. And I do think I heard someone say like they anticipated, like Daishan said, 25,000. I believe I've heard that number a couple times. So, but yeah, I look at stuff like that, which is kind of, I guess you could say it's irrelevant to the people and the players that just kind of want to get in, follow their plan, get, grab the bag, get out, go do something else, and then come back and reevaluate the next day or the next week or whatever. But I always look at that and say, you know what, let me look long term and let me just see. Let's see. And then if you're doing an outlook, it never hurts to look back and say, well, when we were at an all-time high, and then just pick a year, all-time high in 92. What happened just prior to the all-time high? Where did we go? Where did we come from? So, I realize that the metric is, the market is always upward trending. So, you could always count on buying, and, if you're a positional trader, that mindset of inevitably over time you will win. At some point, somebody's getting out of a position. There's an order to pair at a level, and somebody's gonna sell it. And when they get to the bottom, they're gonna be looking to hand that off to somebody else that's gonna take that and go back the other way. So rate cut, bets, Fed cutting rates, equities can potentially keep making newer all time. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Without being specific, because I cannot remember what the economic news was, and I want to say it might have been back in November. It might have been November, and I think it was jobless claims. But I'll say this, and I was sitting in someone else's stream. And it was, I sat here and I said, wow, to myself. And the streamer started chuckling. He started laughing because kind of what happened was like nothing. Like the news basically should have driven price higher. But in essence, like price didn't move like at all. And it wasn't like last week where we had a doji when the 8:30, it was it last week? Jobless claims? I think it was last week or the week before. But we had like a doji at 8:30, nothing happened. And then later that afternoon, or later in the morning, and then that afternoon, price ran. But this particular day, a couple of months ago, it was just kind of like you're expecting the volatility based on the number, nothing happened. So I say all of that to say this: I don't disagree with the rate cuts and the ability of the quote unquote buying the dip and for higher price, but I'm not being a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying that there might be the probability in a different kind of manipulation, if you will. I'm not talking about the AMD manipulation to maybe force some things to happen. So when these reports and this information comes out, obviously none of us are fooled, but there's some people that already have that information to be able to act on it, even though it's supposed to be illegal. But yeah, I just I don't know. I'm just mindful of that kind of stuff. Yeah, FOMC. I've gotta go in to work, but I should be back here. Hopefully by like 10 in the morning, and I'll be on. I don't know if I'm gonna live stream it, or maybe I'll tape read. I don't know. Maybe I'll jump on. But am I waiting for it? I'm just waiting for it to take me out here, and then I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna take this little raggedy. I'm sorry, I shouldn't call it raggedy, right? It's gonna be like you said what? No, I didn't say that. But yeah, I just take this this little position, and I'm gonna let it do what it wants to do. What I was waiting for, it did retrace into that fair value gap. I didn't touch it because I didn't trust it. So priced in with buy rumors. Yeah. 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 I agree with that. Yeah, I just don't trust news. That's all. I just inherently I don't trust it. And I think that's really the only I think there are quite a few people like that. Had to learn the hard way. Me too. Me too. Um yeah, I just don't. Um and it's like I just said. And that doesn't get talked about a whole lot, and maybe it shouldn't, but I think it's just a reality. Like I said, if by the time we, the street or retail or, funded traders, prop firm, whatever, by the time we see it or get it, how many other people have already, been able to filter in? And I'm not, like I said, it's not a political thing, but you could look at higher end officials that are going to have an idea or have a little insight to where, they can take a position on something, and a lot of the news may just literally be sentiment. They're already positioned, you know, they already have an idea of what's to come or what's going to happen. So I'd much rather just look at the price. And if I've got the price wrong, you know, like Barbara just said, had learned the hard way. I'm okay with learning the hard way if I'm looking at just price from a technical standpoint. I'm okay. If I get my ass handed to me from that, I'm okay. If I choose to take like the sentiment from news in terms of what's going to happen, and I'm basing my position based on that, and I get my ass handed to me, it's one of those things where you could just pass the blame off and say, oh, well, it's because this. No, I'd much rather just look at price and say, hey, this is what I think. And then if it doesn't do that, just say, okay, well, didn't play out, didn't work out. Oh, well, I can go on about my business. That's why the NFP days and like I have no interest in that. Zero interest. Excuse me. All right, so 7:05. I wonder. Yes, it is. Yeah, we're about to get smacked. Well, I'm about to get smacked in the mouth. After hours. Globex open, but yeah, I mean technically you could say it's after hours. Trade in the morning. I used to when my schedule allowed it and I was back. I actually prefer it to trade New York AM session, but like I said, usually I get back to my house between anywhere from like 10:15 to 11 o'clock, so it's not really feasible at that time. So and Globex honestly it's kind of like it's a little bit of a hit or miss with this. So no, but it's like you're gonna have to target like specific levels. So for instance, like depending on where that 6 p.m. opens in relationship to the 4 p.m. candle, you might catch a quick position there. You could also, catch maybe liquidity from the 6 p.m. if it works, which is kind of what I was looking at here, but we didn't get that. But yeah, you just have to operate in fairly concise ranges, unless you're looking for something that's going to take some time and you're right at or close to maybe your entry or close to an area that you're looking to see liquidity taken or swept. So I know, right? All good, man. That's all good. Now I'll tell you this, Nate. If this was like late last year and I was doing this live stream, you wouldn't have heard me say shit. I wouldn't have said a word. I would have been fixated on the chart like, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on. You like me. Come on. I need it. But after all that begging and pleading, and it's like, nope. Gotcha. It's all good. How long have I been trading? In total, 6 years. How long have I had an idea of what I'm doing? Probably about 2.5, 3. About that amount of time. So, still a work in progress. Still learning. Yeah, just still trying to grow and progress. So it's still a long way to go. But I'm willing to do stuff like this in an environment where, I mean, you guys that trade, you already understand, like, our community can be forgiving. It could be, welcoming and comforting, and at the same time could literally be extremely brutal. And I don't have a problem, coming on here showing wins, losses, getting my ass handed to me, and just still being, just kind of well, that's what happened. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow when I set fire to another account. Like, I don't mind. Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's about the journey. So, been trading 7 months now, past 2 combines, almost 3, blew my 2 XFAs, but I'm learning. Yeah. Well, Barbara, I'll tell you, here's what I'll say. As long as you're journaling, and I know we've all heard that. I know you hear it. But I recommended to, I had somebody that came in when I actually started trying to be some level of consistent with the live streaming. And I started doing something, and I shared with this one viewer, and interestingly, and the crazy shit was, he was like, yeah, I do that too. I have a Discord, but if you notice, I don't advertise for Discord and community, and I'm not against that. I was looking for something that was going to allow me to, 1, hold myself accountable. 2, I could do a paper notebook journal, and then I can do an electronic and post not just this is my position, this is what I'm looking for, and then post the end result like this is why it failed or what. No. Everything from this is the position, this is what it was doing, this is what it wasn't doing, this is how I felt, this is why I think it won't work, but I'm going to try it. I just set a Discord channel up just for myself to do that. So I know that there are other journaling softwares that are out there to do that. But the fact that you torched 2 XFAs, I've torched 1, and I kind of put myself on probation after I did that. I put myself on probation for 6 months. And that's why I'll trade out of a combine and a practice account. So, and even with this combine, I'm more than willing to take my time because, if I have to pay a monthly, that's fine. But I'm not going to constantly pay resets in the middle of the month going, I got to get it today. So as long as you're learning from it, Nate, I don't mean to laugh at you, but it happens. It happens. I mean, if there's any solace for you, I probably did that. I probably did it Monday. I'm pretty sure I did that Monday. I took fucking 3 positions. Like I lost Monday, and I was saying at the beginning of this stream, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna upload it, and I'll save you guys the time from watching it. The video is from 2 hours of yesterday's Globex, and I was feeling better, but I couldn't talk for shit, so I recorded it. I did the same damn thing yesterday, but I was up like 60 something handles, but because I was looking above that, it was like, nah, it's just gonna come down. No. So I'll post it so I know what you mean in terms of, tilt. Do I only trade the Asian session? No, I don't. Sometimes I try to get in maybe on the New York PM session if I see something. When I'm really living on the edge, I'll trade the lunch hour if I'm here. But yeah, ideally, I would love to be able, like, every day to trade New York AM. I don't mind Globex. I don't mind 6 p.m. open if I have an idea that looks like it may play out. Try the accountability stream thing. I think that's hysterical, Nate. Mitchell, thanks. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Lost 250 this morning after being up 300. Yeah, I mean, baby steps. Look at it. Look at it on the bright side, right? And a lot of people don't look at it this way. You got $50 in that account. App is 50 more than, and I don't know what your balance was prior to, but if you're, working out of a combine or your personal account, look at it this way, because that's what I did yesterday. So I'm not giving you like some haphazard bullshit kind of advice. It's like, that's $50 more than what you had. I was up at one point yesterday, like I said, 13, I might've been up like $1,300. Price came all the way back. I got out at 427 for like 430. And then after commission, it was like 427. I got back in thinking, oh, okay, this is just a retracement. And I ended up in the red yesterday, 251. So instead of me going, God damn, 13 to down, I just looked at the overall and I said, okay, well, what were you up? Yeah, you lost Monday. Okay, check. You lost Tuesday. Check. But what's the bright side? We're still up on the account. So it's kind of like, it happened. Do you know why it happened? Do you know what you did? Okay, learn from it, journal it, screenshot it, journal it, and then on to the next thing, And that's the one thing. Forget it. Just like once you journal and you figure out, okay, here's where I may have, used some emotional judgment behind, maybe moving a break even or adjusting my plan to fix price delivery, like whatever it is. Once you see it, journal it and be honest about it. And then once you do that, put it down. You have to put it down. As long as you remember that the next time you go in, it's not a hindrance that's going to paralyze you the next time you go to take a position. What it'll actually do is you'll just check that box a lot more deliberately to say, okay, this is my setup. This is what I'm looking for. This is what happened. Okay, great. Price moves, how many ever handles in my direction. This is typically when I go to break even. Oh, what happened the last time? I waited. Okay, but I shouldn't have, right? Right. Move to break even. Move to break even, and then you're done. And then you're risk off, and then it's kind of like what happens, and you just build on that. Same thing if you say, hey, look, if it hits my stop, it hits my stop. That's my hard stop. That's my risk. That's it. And move away. It's the easiest. It sounds, I know, easier than it is, but over time, all you're doing is you're numbing yourself to the result. And that's kind of what I think we all do at some point. So how many candles do I use to wait before I move to break even? It depends. It depends. So in a situation like what I'm sitting in right now, it's not really going to be a candle deal. Excuse me. It would be more of a structural thing. It may not be a candle because I'm on a 5-minute price playing back and forth. Once if I'm looking at price and I'm fairly close to accurate in terms of what I think it's going to come back up into, like I may move just slightly into profit and say, hey, look, if you take me out and it's $25, then it's just $25. That's what it is. But longer term positions, I'm looking at maybe swing points, which would relate to candles. But I look at structure more than I'm going to look at a number of candles. Like I don't count candles to close. I'm going to look at ranges. I'll look at an area that might have been mitigated. If I can determine where, say, like a breaker or a mitigation block is, and I'm able to kind of draw that out on the chart to eyeball, like, okay, I don't think price should get back above a certain level, and it's moved in the direction that I'm anticipating, I might move my stop in a situation like that. So step by step, my entries are what I've been working on and playing by zone. Yeah. The best and the greatest tool that I feel like we have as traders or speculators is TradingView. Or any platform that'll allow you to open a demo account. And here's the key. Here's the key to any demo account. Trade the demo like you would trade. Just look at it and treat it like that's your personal account. Meaning, if you're trading, and I think it still has a delay, and you guys could correct me if I'm wrong with that, for like the CME, like the futures and whatnot, it might be like a 10 or 15 minute delay. I would say to you, don't let that hinder you. Just if you're going to trade a mini or a micro, or particularly in the case of a mini, forgive me for saying it this way, but fuck the dollar amount. You don't care about that, right? If you're focusing on entries, use one contract, because that's probably what, depending on your actual size, that's kind of what you might use. Now, micros, obviously, you can use more than one micro contract, but trade the demo like you would trade your actual. And a lot of times you'll find confidence, especially if you're talking about entries. It'll work. It'll show you where, what you can work on or what you might want to look at in terms of where you're entering, where your stops are. But I'm a big proponent of just watching price. So I don't know like what the time element is for you, like what kind of the amount of time that you have, but sometimes watching price deliver in specific times, and particularly the times that you want to trade, sometimes you get clues. And the more that you do it, other things that you never saw before will start to pop up, and then you'll see those reoccurring. So Barbara, I'm sorry, Barbara, I almost missed your message here. Started training ES. Too fast. Now it's too fast. Someone recommended me to switch. Yeah, it's whatever your preference is. It's whatever you get comfortable with. All right, we got less than a minute for this candle to close. And the good thing about this is maybe I'm being an optimistic person here. Let's see. Let me do this. It's going to make a liar out of me. You liar. That's the 7 p.m. candle. This is a soup. It's a closure back inside. There's another wick that closes inside. So why I keep saying that? Maybe you anticipate this low being taken, and in concert with that low, we're close enough here. You could, and I'm just giving you like a confluence. What would I, look at, and what would kind of give me, a little bit more confidence that, hey, is this going to deliver? Now, at the end of the day, it doesn't have to. I look at it more of accumulation, but I mean, yeah, you could say it's consolidation. It could very well be that. I call it accumulation because even within this chop, while it's not necessarily, we got into it before we got all of this, potential ragdoll action, but there's still liquidity being generated on both sides. So that's why I used to call it consolidation until I kind of understood like what's going on. You're creating an interterm amount of liquidity on one or either side within a tight range that's gonna stick its head out and wave at somebody and say, hey, I'm either going to continue this way or I'm going to sweep back across the range and I'm going to take that. And then we're going back downtown. So I've just got a little bit of a different look at that word. How long do I usually stream for? Well, in this case, it's been about 2 hours. I think the longest I've done might have been like three or 4 hours. Yeah. I usually just try to jump on, see if there's a position that we can find for like Globex, and I'm hopeful to be able to get back to maybe streaming in the mornings, which is just not looking it's not looking like it's a thing right now. But I don't know, maybe like I said, on average about 2 hours. Yeah. You guys will appreciate the stream today because my big ass head is not in the way on the the page. So I gotta find the right placement for my dome. Excuse me. King, you might have jinxed me because the way this price is moving, like, and we're coming up on 7:30. I know y'all are not gonna be like, it's fucking 11:30, Jeremy. My God, bro, just take the $15. We're fucking tired. We're sleepy, man. Just take it. Take it. But I kind of did this to myself. I said it early. I was like, hey, we're going to get some movement before, the range bound wicks. Excuse me. And that's exactly what we're getting here. Range bound wicks. But I think after tonight, for the rest of the week, I'm probably going to operate out of my at practice account. So if this closes back inside, which is I'm hoping it'll eliminate. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Because what I didn't want to see was a gap. I didn't want to see a volume imbalance because then that means it's time to paint. I'm going to go fucking Bob Vilo on my ass and we'd be sitting in this spot painting. So this may take 7:30. This might take until 8 o'clock or a little after. If it's going to delay, like it's going to do one of two things. If we haven't gotten close to this low by that time, it's likely to just kind of hang out in here for however long. So I'm thinking either shortly after 8 or 8, we take sell side here and we're out, or it continues again accumulate and we get stopped and eventually it runs long and comes back, like, because I think it's gonna be a Asia thing at this point. And I would like to think that, yeah, like, it's probably, we might be on the right side, low to high. That's a higher low, but this is a lower high. If you're looking at structure that way, this could be another higher low. But now, if this holds, we'll get another lower high. Just, I don't know. And the reason for anybody that's like, that doesn't understand why I just said it can go either way, because at this point, you essentially have, and you have this in different times. Hey, Robert, what's up? There gonna be times where you'll have a low resistance liquidity run in both directions. Like right now, we kind of have that. Even here, we've got it in either direction. So it's a 50-50. How you doing, man? Give me one sec, guys. All right. Chilling, just trying to learn. Just tried short and long and lost 2 total. Try not to blow this fun. Man, listen. Listen. Trust me when I tell you, and everybody else in here, I know. I know, man. I hear you. The struggle is real. It's real. Don't get our lifestyle. No, they don't. It's one of the reasons why to come into the space, like, we all find the one that or the few that seem like they align with like your character and your philosophy, and then the more you find out that it's, in most cases, it's a money grab and everything else, yeah, it's us, Appreciate you, brother. D-Pay Alice just blew it because I got greedy. Now it's time I lock in and keep this account. Yeah, Braz, we got it. We got it. We got it. You got it. Yo. Yo. Got it, man. Just stick to the plan. You know what I mean? Whatever that is for you, just stick to it. Absolutely, we got it. Yes, sir. But that one the one carrot or feather, man, I fucked that whole analogy up. I think it's feather in the cap. I was about to say the carrot you got. Yeah, don't mind me. Told you I'm not feeling. I'm under the weather. Don't hold that against me. But you based on history, you already have proof of concept, right? And it kind of goes back to what Robert just said. Like, a lot of people don't know. They don't understand. We're like the sub of the sub of the subgroup that people still go, what the fuck are y'all doing? Y'all are fucking crazy. Really? Pipe dreamers. But that aside, you have proof of concept. You've done it. You've been there. And now it's like, okay, it's not only is it possible, like, it's real, right? So, yeah, just like you said, you lock in and then you just do it again, man. Ooh, options 4 years, future 6 months ago, 3. Nice, man. Nice. Congrats. Yeah, I always, excuse me, I always avoided options, but yeah, I mean, listen, from what I'm reading, like, you're already there, man. You're already there. Like I said, if you're investing the time, you know, you can recognize and see what needs to be updated and changed. Shaquille, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Thank you. Time is everything. Yeah. But you know, I don't want to say you'll get there. You've been there. You'll get back there, you know? It's all mindset. Not all, but most. So yeah, 20 minutes before. Hoy vey. First time here, trying to get into trading this session. Love the patience, confidence, and trade support. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Taylor. Yeah, and that's something that you're going to. It just sounds so cliche, and I know that we've all heard it, you know. But until it affects like a portion of your life, or particularly, you know, trading, and if you're in a position, some people don't believe this way, and maybe, you know, if you do, you can let me know. If you don't, you disagree, we could just agree to disagree. But I always feel like, especially with trading, and I'm not talking about over leveraging, but you almost have to have a gut punch, like something that forces you to stop, like where you absolutely have to stop, right? I'm not talking about, you know, and it could be, it just depends on the situation. It could be something as simple as blowing a combine or blowing an XFA. How about getting into an XFA, getting to payment, not realizing, and this is true story, didn't happen to me, happened to a friend of mine, and I'm going to tell you what happened with him after this. But he went through, we were both doing 50K combine accounts. He passed, got his XFA, got into funded, had his 5 days, was expecting, I guess, like 15, somewhere between like $1,500, $1,700 in a payout. Didn't wait or didn't get the email saying they were processing. Went back, traded the account. So obviously, you know, that's a big no-no. And not only did he not get the payout, he traded on a high impact news day and blew the fucking account. For him, that was his gut punch. And it crippled him to the point where he was like, man, listen, I think I'm done. His exact words were, I think I'm done. And, you know, I mean, I wasn't trying to talk the guy out of it, but I just kind of said, well, why? And he's like, man, I went through too much to get there. And I'm like, yeah, well, is this what you know, and people can just be different. I said, is this still really what you want to do? And he was like, nah, I can't do that. But my point is, if once you've been handled, like really handled to where it puts you in a place where you're like, God damn, and it makes you stop, then you can go back, and when you're picking the pieces up, you're picking up an actual system and a plan. And then it goes back to what I said a little while ago. You get back into that whole proof of concept, and then you verify it, and you're just willing to keep working through and testing. Now, everybody doesn't have that. But, yeah. Study psychology. Just learn from experience. Doesn't matter how many times we listen to it. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, you have to. And then you have to be able to just kind of, you know, if you can't get out of your emotions about it, it's going to sound however, but you got to forgive yourself and just say, hey, look, I made a mistake. I fucked up. I know what I did. I'm going to do my best not to do that again. And, you know, for those of us that are able to just kind of go to sleep, wake up with a clear conscience, great. If you're not, work on trying to develop a way to clear your conscience, clear your mind of the shit that happened before. Treat every position like it's the first one of the day. If you're a scalper, like that, well, I can't speak on that. That's some different shit altogether. I can't imagine taking 10 fucking trades a day. Not as a scalper, I couldn't. I think I've taken 10 on tilt. I may have taken 10 on tilt. Like, no, motherfucker, you're going down. No, you're going down. Yeah, that's some different shit altogether. Okay, so this is 7:45:46. Three times max. Yeah, well, 3 was the loneliest number for me yesterday and Monday. So, like I said, like whatever happens here with this one, I'm gonna be out after this. Depends on size. Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. I think once, and I've said this before, like I think once I'm done with this one, I'm gonna do one more combine, and for that one, I'm only going to trade copper futures on that one. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll use micros to start. Consolidating. So if you look at this to a to a reasonable trader, they would be looking at this position that I'm in and be like, why in the hell are you in there? But I say it again, before this started, we were back here. We were, so it's not really counterintuitive. Okay, bros. Well, I mean, yeah, I would say just keep using the assets and the instruments that you have been trading. And then if you're ever wanting to maybe test, I thought I had, yeah, I do here. So Robert, I don't know how you trade. Yeah, I think this is the part for me of inevitable means. Like I'm gonna get smacked around and call Susie. It's probably gonna stop me out here, but you can just take this opening range instead of trying to get chopped to hell in here. You know what I mean? Because this is basically Globex Open is just like the New York AM session, the initial balance. It's the first. Well, depending on your perspective, I need to be careful. Depending on your perspective, some people look at it as the first 30 minutes. Maybe the general consensus is an hour. Exactly. So yeah. Yeah, it can be, Marley. What others? Primarily NQ. It's primarily NQ. I will from time to time, like I said, I'll look at copper. I'll go in and like paper trade copper. What else have I touched? ES from time to time. Why everyone trade NQ and ES and not ES? I said a few streams ago, I started with ES, and ES, ES was playing with my feelings. And I just feel like NQ understands me better. It's not understanding me right now. the market's going to be like, yeah, it doesn't understand you because it's bullish. It could be. It's very likely it is. And I'm okay with that. But yeah, exactly, Brez. Yeah. And NQ is going to move, but it's that dynamic with NQ and ES. Yeah, you know what? I cannot disagree with you there. It does. It does. But the only problem, though, Braz, is when it respects the level, sometimes it won't move. And, you know, is it leading the two? Is it following behind? And I'm not a big SMT divergence kind of guy. Like I'm just not. I'm not. Like the expression, I am him. No, I am not him. I am absolutely not him when it comes to that. No. So I stay in my NQ lane. If I really want to, you know, I'll go to MNQ. But yeah, ES last year was just playing with my soul. Like, no. Oh, we're because that's what it always comes down to. Somebody will say, oh, well, ES is better, but if you look at the divert, I'm like, oh my God, no. Yeah, I can't. Oh God, I'm choking myself. Yo, what's up, Nate? One. Only ever in one. Only one. I'm about to be in none here in what time is it? Yeah, this candle is getting ready to close. And then 5 minutes, 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock may very well just ruin everything. But we're being optimistic. I use primarily just structure, but when it comes to Globex, I usually use the PM session to kind of try to frame a trade, and I frame it off of like the 6 to 7. Trade cattle. Oh, I have faith, Brass. But that, I mean, like I said, that just kind of goes back to what my psychology is now. Oh my God, man! What is this commercial shit? I don't care about CMS. We don't care about that. Let's get back to the music. What the hell, dude? Beat it. Hang on for a sec. Let's see. Where is? There we go. All right. Yeah, they do. They do. I was hoping to be able to get the quick short at 6 and be out and let it retrace. But as you can see, that didn't really work out. it's not working out. But yeah, like Brad said, like, you know, I don't throw in the towel until I hear that order filled, and it's not the side that I wanted. It's not the side I wanted to fill, but it's all good. What I was gonna say before I was so rudely interrupted by that damn commercial. Nathan, me and Brad just had a laugh about that word, that SMT thing, and I'm just glad that you didn't say price is respecting a 5-minute fair value gap and there's an SMT on ES, because I was probably gonna be like, I'm closing the trade, I'm taking the loss, and pull a Russell Simmons. Thank everybody for coming. Good night. Like he did. Oh God. Oh man, y'all killing me. Oh God. I think that should actually be something that gets said, like, for the first for the people that come in. Now I can't stop myself. Oh man. When they come in, anybody that says anything like SMT to ES would be like, thank y'all for coming. Good night. It's like, stop it. I'm not saying that there's no truth to it, but what strat do I prefer? Candle range theory, with a combination of, for futures primarily, because that's all I trade, is like the 6 a.m. 4-hour candle. We're running to 80. Yeah, because I have that mark. 21, 580, 75. Yeah. Yeah, so I said 80, and it is 8 o'clock. So 8 o'clock is either gonna wreck us or it's gonna do something different, but it's probably gonna wreck us here. No ICT. I started with ICT, and I guess you could say there are some concepts in terms of like ranges, like new day and new week opening gap. So like certain things I will look at, ICT related, but to trade like exclusively ICT. So yeah, no, you're not gonna see. I understand some of his fundamentals. So, but you're not gonna see me on here talking about, this is an optimal trade entry, and so not really. And then I look at fair value gaps, probably more. I look at them a little bit differently, but yeah. Oh, excuse me. Yo, I was joking about like taking the $20 off of this move, but it's almost like for as much time as we hung out in this damn trade, I don't know. Can you give me enough to get like a Red Bull and some Twizzlers? 20 spot would be good. Yeah, we'll see. We shall see. You pissed because the Bulls can't? I mean, they will. They will. We just don't want them to run right now. So, Dashawn, I love you, but just not right now. After we clear the 6 p.m. candle, I'm right there for you, brother. It makes you crazy. So, that's one of the reasons why I just call it fair value. I don't even go I don't substitute FVG. It's fair value. And I'm not going to talk mess about Topstep X, but all this flickering, like, I don't like that. And trust me, you won't hear, like, I only said it as a reference, but you really won't hear me use that optimal phrase too often. Yeah, if it doesn't close back inside the 7, we're done. We're done. It's going long. Yeah, with 30 seconds, it's gonna have to. Well, yeah, it's got 20 seconds to close inside. I think if it closes above, it's gonna run out. It's gonna run out to stop. Reset of the low. Tradable other yeah, my funded futures. I've tried. Fair value gaps. Are you asking the single prints or it's basically it's an imbalance in price. That's what it is. Or what it can be viewed as. And you're just looking for, it's an area where you haven't had equal participation on both sides. Project X is just called Slip X. Yeah, I know they had issues. I don't want to say a few, but I'll just say like a couple of times last year, where basically the whole platform would like freeze, or you couldn't execute, or you couldn't exit, you couldn't flatten positions. But I think the one time that it actually affected me, like they basically, the back end and support, they made it right. So yeah, I've got nothing negative or bad to say about them. They've been kind of above board my entire time with them. So anybody in a position? Marley, you went along, or where are you? Or you just tape reading? Longing from 62. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Good luck, Jays. Let me grab some water here. That didn't really help. Oh, man. Oh, okay. Trade the New York session. Cool. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'm hoping that one day I can get back to that pre-New York into the open and the AM session. Braz, I already hear you. I already hear you. Equal lows. Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Razzle. I don't disagree with you. I took this position on basically the idea and the probability that we're kind of going to be able to get in and out before this started, but obviously I was wrong and we're in it. But you're absolutely correct. It is range bound. So, hey Ishmael, how's it going? How you doing? Usually on at the open is my first. Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate you for coming through. Yes. When I first started live streaming, I was holy smokes. I actually started in London. I used to do like the London session, and then eventually moved into like the AM. So yeah. No trade works. It does. New to this channel. All right. Well, welcome. I appreciate you for stopping in. It's is it profitable to trade Asian? Yeah. It's if you have a trade plan, you have, like I say, proof of concept, you know what you're looking for, whether it be mechanical or otherwise, you could trade any session. Now, obviously the volatility in terms of price movement is not going to be anything close to what it would be New York AM session. And even for London, which is usually the manipulation, you're not going to get the same amount. So, but you can, yes. How often do I live stream? I've been trying to at least go live maybe 3 or 4 times a week. And I'm actually trying to work on maybe doing like a crypto or something. And it is a crypto stream on the weekends, but it's probably more of a just jump on to kind of just hang out, chat, and talk. So yeah, I think it's just kind of deciding whether or not it's gonna just it's being gentle with this ass kicking. I'm a big boy. I could take it. You're gonna kick me in my ass, stop me out. I'm fine. But it's like, do we really know? He seems like he's a good enough guy. Let's just play with him some more. But I kind of put myself in this. No, I'll go to like TradingView. I'll go to TradingView for that. Damn, Bankroll, you got the right name. Congratulations. Scout, yeah. Nice. Nice. NQ. NQ. Run negative RR but high win rate. Sometimes that's the way to go. And especially if excuse me, you've calculated, and obviously if you're doing a negative RR, you already understand what your risk management is, so it's going to be beneficial. It's going to work out enough times to where it'll probably make you profitable and you don't have to worry about, yeah, okay, 5-6 points. Yeah, because and I'm not, this is just how I understand the math. You can let me know, Bankroll. But under 5 points, like that negative RR, especially if you run into losers, like it's not profitable, correct? Because you're not having enough points. Like 5 is usually the minimum to be able to allow you to get out and cover like whatever spread, right? $10-point risk. To 58. Excuse me. Yeah, this is absolute hot garbage right now. Hot garbage. Would I consider myself a profitable trader? I would say yes. But even saying that I would consider myself profitable, excuse me, I'm susceptible to make mistakes and do things sometimes that don't exhibit that. So, hey, Emotion, how you doing? Total 6 years. Use Bookmap. Okay. Yeah, I'm like even over here on the corner, like I just don't. We were talking about this like earlier. I have a hard time. I have a hard time trusting that kind of stuff. Passing through. I appreciate Motion. I appreciate you. Thank you. Just I don't know what like. I have to go back and have Nightbot chill because I don't even. I just saw it come up and it was like deleted. Like, what did you do? What happened? What did you do, brother? What is candle range theory? In the simplest, is it okay? Never heard of that. Never heard of candle range theory. So I'll give you the super short version of it. I will tell you. There is a YouTube channel called The Soup Room, SOUPROOM, The Soup Room, who does a lot of his content is based on candle range, but specifics surrounding that. But it's literally just the concept of if you have, say, this candle that we're presently in right now, I can get rid of this because I'm going to get stopped out so we can move on. So it's like there are two sides to this candle, right? Can't get that on the bottom. There we go. We'll just assume, okay? But it's essentially this candle has its own buy side and sell side. So candle range just simply means if once you get a clear, which it'll be absolutely amazing if price action helps me explain this for you and to you. It'd be awesome. This will be one for the books. It's like we can at least help him out. We're going to take his money, but we're going to help him out. But essentially, you've got buy side and sell side for this candle. So candle range theory just states that if the buy side is taken, there is a likely probability that the sell side can also be taken if the following candle that takes the buy side out closes inside the candle body. So it's not always the first candle. So that's why I said the Soup Room channel will tell you, you got a candle. This is your candle range. The next candle opens. It's soup, simply meaning there's no body up here. It's just the wick. The body closes inside. And the probability is to expect the opposing side liquidity to be cleared. That's candle range as simple as I can make it. And it can apply, like I'm on a 5-minute chart. So candle range can apply, it's fractal. It can apply to any candle on any time frame. So it applies to daily, monthly, weekly, whatever. But that's candle range. Like a hammer or a doji closer, no. As long as you don't get a body closure above the previous candle. So whatever that candle range is, like in this specific case for right now, if this candle closes inside the body and the next candle opens and it wicks through and it closes inside, it's a reasonable probability that it can run out. But I would tell you, don't take my word for it. You just kind of do like your own forward and back testing on it. And like I said, the one resource that I would point you to is Soup Room. But there are probably a lot of people out there that can explain it in a lot greater depth than I do. I'm neither. I haven't put a trend line on a chart in like 4 years. I haven't. No problem, Robert. No problem. That's always the thing about me. If I know and I can help, I'll help. If I don't, I'll point you to a resource where I know you'll. 1 second. Yeah. And so one of the things that used to get me stuck a lot, is the concept of, excuse me, when you come into specific areas, depending on if you've had break long or you've had liquidity swept long or short, I'll just roll up to this. Is when you get like the high, the lows, and then the higher highs. This structure used to give me fits all the time because I would get antsy thinking, okay, I'm going to miss the move, right? And candle range kind of helped. Like once this had taken place, and this is one of the ways that I kind of tried to help myself. I know you're going to be like, this has already happened, but I'm glad because I could at least just share and show you. So when you have a high and you're trying to understand like what's the probability, how probable is it to close back inside? We already had that high and the low, and this is the higher high. It's like, okay, is this really the higher high? You can use candle range structure a little differently. I use it differently. So in the case of this high, I would say, obviously, this is lower than this candle. This one is lower. So this is obviously the high, right? But at the time that maybe you get this candle closure and you're not really sure, we get this run back, back long. Well, it hasn't taken this high out. Yes, it's closed above here, but it's still going to be confined within the range. So you can literally just take these candles as they form and use this outer candle as like your framework to determine, okay, for this candle, if we get a body closure up here, is it possible it's going to run out the high? It's possible. If you get the closure back inside and it clears this candle, you could say, okay, we're probably still, in good faith to move short. You're going to get like the liquidity and the intermediary moves, but as long as the structure stays intact, you can use candle range coming down with the candles that were bullish. If it's still within the bodies, moving towards the low, you're in a good place. If you're near the highs and it's clearing basically even the wick highs with the body, maybe not that confident. So and there we go. Or not. Yeah, I should do it in here. Good shit. Congrats, J Stores. Good job. No problem. I appreciate it, Robert. Appreciate you for being here, man. Yeah, good stuff, man. I'm glad I could help you with the fade. But yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. I just think that it is pretty comical that it has come up here within, like, first it was a tick. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say that was like a pipette, but it's like, my gosh, man. Oh man. I appreciate you, Robert. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words, man. I appreciate that. EMA's in a range. I feel like Russell Crowe from fucking Gladiator. Like, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Probably not. I'm entertained by like this whole one pipette before before the stop. And it's like, no. We're not doing it. You gonna do it now? It's gonna smack me and call me Susie? What are you gonna do? What are you doing here? Jalen, what's up, man? So it looks like, at least for the foreseeable future, be doing Globex in Asia until I can get back to excuse me, until I can get back to New York AM session. And as far as like days, it's kind of hit or miss right now. I'll try to be on every day, but like I said, it's kind of hit or miss. All right, done. Not in the way we want, but all good. All good. No problem. How you been, Jalen? I know you sent me a message, and I did respond to it for you. So hopefully you got that. Excuse me. So this would have been the high for Globex, and this would have been the low. So yeah, unless it's something dramatic, yeah. Not really much else to do at this point, because it looks like it's either going to be a slow grind to the top, but I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, all good. Same boat, man. In the same boat. Woke up today to see gap fill, improbable gap fill, but I don't know. Hey Cal, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Gap fill. Hang on. Test the 66 and back push through the highs. Yeah, we could be long back into the eights, really. I don't know. Especially with tomorrow. Don't know. But that could be the play, you know? That could be the play. MNQ, it's yeah. No, yeah, you're right. I've thought about it. I think depending on what ends up happening with this 50K, I may consider that. Yeah, it's a thought. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Hang on. You know what? Go back. Yeah. And get rid of that for right now. And this. And this. And this. Two. Yeah, I would be interested to see where and that's what sucks about not being able to be home when like looking at pre-New York. I usually leave my house by like 5 in the morning, so I only really get a chance to see London and then kind of just like mark stuff out. Then I know that I can come back and look and see, you know, what a reaction was at a certain place. But based on knowledge, how much do you think you need to start placing your money in gold? Excuse me. Honestly, I don't know. I have my thoughts about that. So now, are you talking about money in terms of like a funded account, or are you talking about like personal, like your personal account to trade gold? If you're talking about your personal account to trade gold, I don't know. I mean, obviously more is better. I don't want to give you an amount. Like, I don't know what that would be. That's something that you could probably determine. Yeah. You can check the margins, but like it's like everything else, it's always gonna come back to what your risk management is. Day trader. Day trader. And to answer the second portion of your question, was funded, lost my XFA, and working on getting my XFA back. Yeah, I just answered that. Blew my XFA, and working to get my XFA back. Yep. Need some cash to run 1 minute. Yeah. I don't focus on any of the metals. Like the only one that kind of interests me is copper. And that was just one that I chose when I was doing some back testing and forward testing, so it just kind of stuck. So from time to time, I'll look at it, and yeah. So at this point, I'm probably going to hop off. There's not really too much else I'm going to be looking at or looking for, just based on how prices is forming. But I don't disagree that we're probably looking long, but I'm going to be looking at these two areas. So like I said, I'm going to be up at 4 a.m, but usually when I get up, I usually wake up like 2 hours before the damn alarm goes off. So I'll get up and look and see what like the pre-London looks like, and yeah, draw some more on the chart. Based on my knowledge, how much. Well, here's the thing. I would love to be able to tell you, but I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you. I'm somewhat knowledgeable, but it's not really for me to do for you, because I don't know what your trade plan or your model is. I don't know what your risk tolerance is. So I'll put it to you like this. Whatever you feel like you would be able to lose, which is kind of all of us in this space. That's one of the reasons why the CTFC is written the way that it is, and why we have disclaimers the way that we do. Whatever money that you feel like you can afford to lose, if that meets the margin requirement and it allows you to take positions within whatever your risk management is, that would be the amount. So yeah, I'm a strong advocate to not tell anybody what the amount is, because two we're two different types of speculators. Like, I know my risk, like this evening, my risk is $350, right? No fail. So that's my risk tolerance trading one mini contract based on setups and A plus and whatnot. I'm comfortable with that, and I'm okay with losing that. So do I think I'd be successful with a 10K funding or 100K funding? Probably either one, depending on the asset. Now, if you're asking me, do I think I would be, excuse me, functional with a 10K trading one mini contract of NASDAQ? I would probably want 100K. I might want a little bit more flexibility, but no problem. Topstep. I try to treat the props just like accounts. And there's nothing wrong. Like JSTOR is in here. He's with Tradeify and Take Profit Trader, so he does too. I just kind of want to focus in one place and focus on one asset. So yeah, it's the same thing that I've been saying. Like, if you ever try to simplify it, the simplified version would be how much, when you enter a market order or a limit order and you actually look at your stop and you look at that dollar amount, right? If you don't have your charts and information set to ticks, how much do you have to see that stop being to where it doesn't cause you any kind of emotional anxiety? That's like maybe that's the start for some people, because if you could look at the number and not have any feeling one way or the other about it, you could either just not care, or you could legitimately just understand, if I lose that, I know that's a possibility, but this setup is A plus or whatever. And just because it's an A plus setup doesn't mean it can't lose. But again, you've mitigated the risk before you even put the position on, once you realize what it is. So bankroll, you're absolutely correct. It is. It is. It absolutely is. That was one thing that kind of helped my mental as well, which was, sometimes I'll pull out the long short tool and I'll just say, oh, well, if I'm going to enter here and I'm going here, and how many handles is that? I stopped doing it because the moment that happens, you're no longer focused on the process. You're looking at what you expect, and that's not a guarantee. So it's like you back yourself into being emotionally attached to a position. So you are 100% correct. Nice, Exotics. You holding overnight, or you? Excuse me. Well, yeah, depending, you may have to, but A lot of people approach it the same way they would a casino. Yeah. Try not to think that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's an investment. It's absolutely an investment. And it'll give you some type of structure, you know? It will always give you structure. That's the only reason, not the only. I've always said, like, I created the channel, I post my videos. I don't do like, and if you look at them, I don't do like a whole lot of the big intros and the B-roll and all. That's I could give two shits about that. It's literally, I'm gonna live stream, I'll post the videos, I'll show, you know, entries, and like I said before, I'll show the wins, I'm gonna show the losses when I get my ass handed to me, because that's the reality. It's an investment, you know, it's a process. Some people get there faster than others. Some people get there and they are fortunate, or they're lucky. I don't want to say lucky. They're fortunate based on that day's delivery or price. Some people, like you said, they gamble and they get there and they equate the gambling mentality to, you know, that trade plan or that idea working. But it's like everything else. At some point, no different than this damn chart we're looking at. It's the same thing. At some point, price was down here and it ran all the way up here, and you're on the top of the world. But at some point, it's coming back, and you're going to find some level of equilibrium before you then balance yourself and figure out, okay, which way am I going? What lessons have I learned to keep improving? So, yeah, true. True. All right, guys, I am going to call it a night. So I absolutely appreciate all of you that showed up tonight. Took the L, but so what? You guys just made it 100% better. So tomorrow, like I said, depending on what time I get finished, I'm trying to be in the seat, and even if I just paper trade, which is just follow, I'm just gonna follow a price. I'm not looking to do anything tomorrow afternoon. I'm just really interested to see what that price action is gonna be for the Fed interest rate decision. I honestly think that I think the consensus is 4.5. The previous was 4.5. They're probably not going to do anything. Powell's going to say the same crap he usually does, which is they need more time. They need more time to go over the data. So, but I appreciate all of you. Barbara, thank you, brother. Take care. All the new subs, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. And, yeah, we'll just try to make it every night. Thanks, guys. Take care. See you.